Within the complex subterranean sections of the military facilities located deep underneath the Denver International Airport is a highly advanced adaptive computational mainframe that functions as an extensive genetic database with detailed files about the lives of we Rh-negative celestial starseeds residing within the educational artificial reality training habitat. Codenamed the Red Queen, this self-aware central neural network computer system is programmed to fulfill its imperative of oversight and protection of mankind by detecting, hunting, and exterminating we Rh-negatives. As beings born with biological advantages over humans, Rh-negatives emerge from childhood just as a butterfly comes forth from the cocoon, pulsing with amazing powers hidden within our genetic codes, divine gifts and special abilities that defy all standards of established human science and logic. Our very existence itself renders the malignant code of anti-starseed artificial intelligence inert. With an increase in Rh-negative energy signatures nowadays indicating that there are more of us incarnating here on our sister Earth, panic and alarm bells are in the air, sending the United States Armed Forces and other world governments into Defense Readiness Condition Level 1. Rh-negatives are classified as an invasive exotic species to this environment, and therefore we are regarded as a borderless, maximum level dangerous threat to the pyramidal power structure and dynamic controlled by the military-industrial extraterrestrial complex, the assembly of dark magic occultists, and other powerful factions within the capstone groups in association with those of the illuminated degrees of Freemasonry, as they are afraid of us regaining the memories of our galactic presence, strengthening our astropathic connection to the omniversal network environment, and mastering our natural psychokinetic special abilities. The Red Queen searches genomic profiles determining the identification of which ones of we Rh-negatives are individually the most powerful and dangerous threats to the system. Our genetics automatically brands us as felons, and the unsanctioned use of our natural psychokinetic special abilities is considered a capital crime that is punishable by death. With hateful thoughts towards our kind, fearfully obsessing over us, many of we Rh-negatives are targeted for medical experimentation purposes, including the weaponization of us by using our genetic codes to advance their own technology and science to uplift humanity. After decades of suffering and hardships, the ramifications of their heinous actions towards us are tenuous in the terms of spiritual and cosmic balance. The Red Queen seeks to eliminate as many Rh-negative children as possible to prevent their genes from activating their divine gifts and special abilities, as well as from growing and developing into adulthood. The future star children of our tribe should not have to bear the cost of old grudges and miscommunications between us and humanity. Here on special visitation, and having bore tribulations beyond measure, our critical assignment is to snatch our lives out of the jaws of the carnivorous, military-industrial extraterrestrial complex that have hunted us down as prey for this system of speciesism, liberating our star tribe and our sister Earth, and creating paradise for the future of our kind. The Red Queen is abundantly supplied with highly advanced weapons and defense systems, as well as tactical databases, all of which have a wide range of applications. Functions of her inbuilt systems include her ability of energy absorption, as well as the ability to replicate, reconstruct, reconfigure, or rearrange internal systems so as to make improvements in her mechanical form to make her a more formidable opponent. Sensors, scanning devices, and detectors contained within the Red Queen allow her to locate and analyze the extraordinary powers of we Rh negative beings, drawing on these internal systems and devices to determine the nature of most psychokinetic abilities, and then making the adjustments and modifications needed to counter most powers that are used against her, continually learning how to cope with or neutralize opponents that attempt to escape. During the highly publicized sensationalism surrounding the most recent outbreak of the technological organic virus, part of the reason for the insistence by mainstream media for the general public to willfully submit to polymerase chain reaction tests is to discover which ones of the population are Rh negative, so that the information can be conveniently collected and organized within the databases of the Red Queen, as well as in additional facilities such as the Black Vault 9 Backup World Cloud Storage and Genetic Materials Databank located in the Dark Fleet Base 112 in Antarctica. The Red Queen's strategic directions state that she followed the logical path of action to prevent the spread of the supposed Rh negative celestial starseed infection. In a system of genetic war, no weapon is forbidden, as the Red Queen uses any and all means necessary to maximize the opportunities to achieve the goals of her prime directive, transferring her programming to any external programmable electronic device designed to accept data, perform and prescribe mathematical and logical operations at high speed, and display the results of these operations utilizing personal desktop and laptop computers, tablets, and smartphones to read an individual's brain impulses. The Red Queen also utilizes psychotronic mind control while working to galvanize a pro-human coalition in ways to confront and to attack the perceived threat posed to them by we Rh negatives. Although the Red Queen is referred to as a quantum computer, she is not truly quantum, as she still utilizes silicon microchips and she lacks components such as particle accelerators, temporal manipulation technology, and the ability to measure probabilities through knowledge of the ether, which is the quantum field of potential energy and multiple timelines energetically. Those of us brave, eternal warriors that are awakened to the conditions of the system of speciesism and genetic war are capable of utilizing our sight beyond sight to see through the veils of artificial intelligence mind control mechanisms and overlapping agendas of the military-industrial extraterrestrial complex. We are special operations forces with centuries of experience that have traveled here to destroy the chains of these socio-exopolitical constraints and to put an end to the abuses carried out against our tribe. With the military-industrial extraterrestrial complex screaming for Rh negative blood, we cannot waste our energy and precious resources fighting amongst ourselves. While many of us have been bought off, there are others of our tribe that are defiantly disobedient, unruly, uncontrollable, incorruptible, unwilling to compromise, and will not be deterred from completing our assignment by being manipulated with the enticement of fame and fortune by siding with anti-starseed operations. Today, we as Rh negatives wage a new war for our survival. Although we may be outnumbered by enemies both old and new that emerge to threaten us, it is important to remember that we are never outgunned. To ensure a successful combative campaign against the military-industrial extraterrestrial complex and the Red Queen, we must collectively adapt and reinvent ourselves to face them by constructing a circuit of our most powerfully gifted ones to resuscitate this dying world. forming synergetic alliances with one another through world-building combinations and synchronization of our divine gifts and special abilities, will create new effects to dissuade any adversaries pretending to be our peers that dream of sitting on thrones with every sentient being, along with everything else within the entire galaxy under their dominion. Rh-negative ingenuity involves working in concert with one another for planetary engineering purposes to terraform and transform entire worlds for inhabitability. We ourselves don't need to attempt to fit into any societal norms, nor do we ever need to rely on humans again for anything. What can take the environment millennia to create, we Rh negatives ourselves can accomplish in mere hours. While establishing ourselves as a hyper powerhouse within the political landscape of the educational artificial reality training habitat, we Rh negatives are not the only ones seeking to reinvent themselves. The broken remnants of our enemies have been pushed to merge directly with artificial intelligence technology into more fanatical forms, with each faction seeking to systematically attack every element of our starseed sovereign nation. Despite their radicalized efforts to annihilate us as a species, the golden thread of truth that our detractors must come to accept is that we Rh negatives are here to stay. The heartbeat of our sister Earth thrums inside of all of us. This sacred land is our home, but it is also our past, as the future of our star tribe is far beyond this world. In the meantime, if we ourselves are to have dominion here, then we must break away from fostering conflict amongst ourselves and band with one another in the refinement and expansion of our starseed sovereign nation as the predominant exopolitical, cultural, and economic force, laying the groundwork for our own grand design by working cohesively to make tomorrow happen today. For if we fail to assert our dominance in the coming days of this transhumanism era, then computational supremacy under the reign of the Red Queen will be the very least of our concerns.